Baby girl, I never seen this kind of love. I never lie or a reach from above. That's the way I speak past this love. Just to let me go, I'll never have enough. Once upon a time, now if they come on, I'm named up yet to him to ask what he's from. Share me for tough love, a bucks up time money.
I'm not Professor Coou, qui a une faculté of physical science. Okay. I'm also, I want to recognize the presence of one of our lecturers. Because if I'm not there, I'm going to the influence of alcohol. I'm going to and I'm very, very hard. It's all can get a feeling wrong. I got mama. I will say, when we are the mode, we cannot come here. So, also, one other person. The first person on F, I Geology, on ever. All my body now, my wife was the man, nobody is coming. Oh, my wife, one asked my name earlier. I'm going to history get out. Oh, where mafia? We recognize the current HOD of Geology Department, Dr. K.K. Wonson. One trademark into Maya will come here, but they change. Year to year. I'm working on cancer picture, here focus on this year, and go see the picture. Right, say a picture focus on this year, mama. Very nice, yeah. As I was saying, okay, the first lecture, mom, F. Come on, F now, for you might be 17 over 100, F, when you pay you at it. That's not. God bless you. That's not F. You can what my body is. Okay. Let me officially welcome. Anyways, when I was in school, my lecturer was our friend, A to Z. Question and stand is now. When I have a friend, A to Z. Even the current dean physical science, like I did for one cat and rats. Now I go to the department to see a man on Gabo Kumbo. Let me officially welcome Professor Osita Shiayanam, the Dean Faculty of Physical Science. Okay. Oh my God, I do. I can go on with you. One man at the blood and also. We have to look for another. We don't buy no school. I'm a man. Home man is a picture. Some of them really have wow, who is a picture. Never. Has now. Come for that. Pascal Oguno, former Dean, Faculty of Laws, and the member, University Government Council, Ikonaka. The voice of the university. Hey! Because I'm putting that, the Lord is your mind. Okay. How many people on the phone pass now? People like Professor Bruno, department, to say one or two things before we start being a proper. Please, Dr. K.K. Wonson, please, someone to talk about
on behalf of the board, management and staff of Geology Department, Coou University, we say a big welcome. We've gone around, we've seen lots of faces, lots of gentlemen and ladies, children and well-wishers. My boss is here. When the university moves, everything moves. When you see the university orator, something will occur to you that the vice chancellor is as good as with you. I could read any book. Everybody will say welcome. My dean, you are my friend, but tonight you are my boss. I'm lawyer, Professor Stachega. I'm walking around here. I jumped to now well. In Coou and Jan Jordan. Not that allowed to cheer. You can't come with your share. Not in there. When you say man, on his head is a red cap, and on top is a red one. Now this is a red one. Probably the shoe looks red. Then you will know that something red is happening somewhere. This is the only man that will go to EFCC in the morning by 12 noon his back. It happens. But I'll tell you a story. The day we were in your house, he actually went to answer a phone call from EFCC, and before noon, he came back. And I can't recollect the number of Nigerians that do that. But you're welcome. There's a beautiful lady with you, I tell you. My mom told me something. Whenever you say beautiful lady, answer her name. That's one of good news she likes hearing. I'll come back to you there. And you're welcome. My parent HOD, Sir A.C. Nolim, is with us tonight. Actually, it looks as if he's the reason we are here tonight, because we want to appreciate in a special way. He's here with his wife and the entire Enugu community. When the time comes, I'll tell you something about this man. In my family, there is someone, he sucked the breast so much that he left so little for me. So when you look at his head, his own is still mine. So my elder brother is here. Abuchi was of another broadcasting service, which is so he came with the entire programs and this public of the Anambra Broadcasting Service. And he promised us that everything we'll do here tonight will be on ABS Radio and TV. Mr. Emeka Iloalo is a very special person, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Aquaculture and Fisheries Development Agency. Emeka is a geologist par excellence, a developer of software with language, but he believed in his personal calling as an entrepreneur. So Emeka, out of self-volition, said, looked at language and said, I can do what you are doing in a better way. And tendered his letter and faced the business world. Emeka today combines good business, politics, religion, what again? Spirituality, what again? And he looks so simple, but a very complex, complicated, and sophisticated personality. Emeka is there is someone, if you don't take your time, if he comes to a ceremony with me, you go and pass the kola nut to him. And 4 people are 20 questions because of that. His gray hair is so deceptive. For them, some EOC can still be so effective at education that they precamped. So, don't look at the gray hair, he's not a precamped. For them, he's not EOC either. I'm talking about Professor Rebecca Coou. Rebecca is one more than I'm from Waka, but once we're in the university, we are very good friends. But when we come to the issue of Waka and that model, we more disagree. But eventually we always agree. Rebecca, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, someone is here in our midst. I asked him to come here and copy from Coou Geology Alumni. He is the pioneering, founding seed planter of UNIZI Geology Alumni. I went to UNIZI, Okoto went to UNIZI, and then Pilalo went to UNIZI. They asked us to come. Yeah, my brother in Aberdeen, the youngest father in the land. The only man that understands fluorescence montage in this part of Nigeria, if not West Africa. A federal government scholar, a distinguished geophysicist, my colleague and my brother, Dr. Leonard Ndemeka Onoba is very close. Please, for the alumni, there is something about this man I want us to carry home from here. We came back from Aberdeen and wanted so much to place them on the university on the global map of champions. Leonard went to work. Some politicians will say, let's go to work. Leonard said, let's go to work, and he went to work. With his personal energy, resources, time, and everything he wanted. Leonard took our students out of 100 something universities in Nigeria. Leonard made us the first state university to be at the finals of basic evaluation contest of NAPES. Not only that, we became the only university from southeastern Nigeria at the finals. Not only that, Leonard stamped his face and ensured that we finished only behind the lag and uniforms. In other words, we are the best state university when it comes to geosciences. On the National League Table of Geosciences, we are number 3. I think that is where Man U or Arsenal. Am I still right? Leonard, the alumni down here that they want to appreciate in a very big way. And the planning committee, everybody, the sponsors, our friends, colleagues, yes, there's one beautiful lady I'm looking for here. The youngest lecturer in our midst. But don't go looking in my direction yet, but you have problems. Where is Stella Wike?
She's not here. We have to fix us.
Okay, thank God she's not here yet. Right. So, all our friends are here. Ike Bono from Geology University and alumnus. Azodi, Ike Chukwu Seplat. Ogwanya. Oh, I won't forget your name, okay? So as they come, I'm going to collect. And our friends from PwC, Chika, Chimoba, Tim Wezi from Malaysia or Turkey, and you know the footballer, you all know her, Stanley, and come. Senator is here. Please, you have to pardon me tonight. I have taken some benefit down there, so some of your names are waiting right there. I don't want to spoil the show. Please, as names come, we'll continue to recognize all of you, and we say a big welcome to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Geology. And for him, I have to switch back to the Bahama School. After I graduated, I have more to so that's it. Okay, please, we want to start proper, but we want to invite some people on the high table. Please, okay, please, the next person that will follow him, Professor Pascal Oguno, the former Dean Faculty of Law and the Global University Government Council. Please, thank you, sir. Please join me to the high table. Okay, our own Professor Chukwuemeka Odumodu, the only Chukwuemeka in Chukwuemeka University. Please, come and join us in the high table. Okay. We want to invite some other person to go to the high table. We will to join us. Mr. Abuchi Moso from ABS, please join the high table. Also on the high table, we're inviting Dr. Keke Mozo. Okay. All the personnel on the Yamma. Okay. Okay, also, that's the one here. Mama has never on the Yamma. So, yes, you know, just wait for us, just tell her. And ever will remain high table, that's of high table. Okay. I'm at a high table, I'm the one who lives in a high table, and I am therefore, I'm calling one of us. And Mr. Azuki, today to be working at a high table, to represent this one I'm going to hate you, my I want to do something before I do the escape room. I also remember that you are Azul, one of the people I meet then, the masterminder in geology. Stanley, you can remember now. Uncle, Azul, the young people. Nobody see. Nobody can recall my place. I'm high. Not the best of alcohol, Coke and Fanta. I'm the only person that have the right to say anything and do something. People are recall of me. Who wants to die? Also, I'm going to take everything I recall. I want to use that 70301. And care for recognition, recognition. Yes, can I be a record? Record covenant. Okay, I want to record covenant. Dr. Emmanuel Madawa. About the Napela Coou. Become a like about the Cheva. Azuma and Media. Thank you. Also, Dr. Liu. My organ. Dr. Liu, it's a 3. Come on, the Bonagi. Where those are? Because they were actually never. You can enter the channel as well. Also, Professor Moses Chendo. Am I right? Egulam Yaka. It's okay. Please, without any delay, I want to move straight to the chairman. Okay, not the chairman. Because we have pastor here, please. Not today, I'm not going from pastor. I'm not going to be brother. No, this is start. Michael, I'm from pastor, the one, the global. You know, we might wait the 100 love this book. No. I'm there. He's led by the Spirit. Praise the Lord. All right. We pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Father, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather here today. The opportunity to bring us to see our friends, to see our lecturers. Father, we say that your name be glorified in the name of Jesus. And as we are here today, Lord, we pray for your guidance, that all we do today will give you extra glory. When we are going to close, Lord, I pray that you send us to our different destinations, safely in the name of Jesus. Amen. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
I just introduced Professor Pascal.
Hey, please forgive me when I'm wearing a costume. Please permit me to meet the chairman now. The chairman no very introduction. Then I watch. I also. I want to recognize the presence of my set, my class. The only Liverpool fan anyway, and the whole geology, our whole time. The Liverpool, people I not pure number one, never walk alone. Season to season, Liverpool are now our fourth. The guy is very faithful. Till this year, Liverpool is stopping the group. You cannot come. Also, our baby during our own time, stand UK. Only our woman in the department that time. Thank you. Sir?
Great Nigerian students. Great Nigerian students. Greatest Nigerian students. I don't know what to say, but my speech is going to be very short because from the program of events, I can see a lot of things being lined out. I would say that I'm very grateful that the head of the department, Dr. Keke Mozo, was able to organize this program, was able to organize our former students. I'm very happy that most of them are in various places doing well. My prayer is that they will get to a higher height, to the next level in their life. I also pray that as we depart here, that we get to our destination in peace. I recognize the presence of the founding father of geology, Department of Geology, Coou University, son of them, who is here with the wife. Sam, thank you very much for making it. I know that it's not easy coming out this period, especially the hold up and the festive period we are now. I also thank everybody that graced this occasion. I think I saw Professor Chendo just walked in now. He's the Dean of Faculty School of Postgraduate Studies. Chendo, you're welcome. I also thank my brother and friend, Professor Pascal Ogono, and his sister for making it to this place. Prof, thank you so much. I'm not sure. I thank my students. The department is growing. We have MSc program, we have PhD program, so we always open our arms to receive you back whenever you deem it necessary to come and do your program. So we wish you all the best in your life endeavor. Thank you so much.
open at the man and speak. Mama was the lecturer that speak. Or the after today, able to know any put the course with your piano. I think I introduced Igbo and Geology course. These lecturers in those Igbo. So I will support them. Tell us, sir. No, I'm going to speak. I want to go even up and down. Or problem, Hallelujah. 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 Amen. The church are not forever. Akabuma. Emma, never ahead. Dear King, we are recognizing Remember my own reconcord with the other moment. I want to reconcord now. Professor M.M. Wachendu, Dean DG School. You're welcome, sir. Biko Adam Mama Prophet Maneka Basabaka. Adam Han. Speaking of the defense of alcohol, coconut fanta, and I'm going to put your wire, like a man and toss. And I'm going to pure from when I think get them very hard. Man, I just got school, I'm well prof. Also, I want to recognize the presence of the presence of Barrister Emeka Onyeka, GMS Old Boy, Port Harcourt, Lost Years. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm going to tell you the fully good boy. He's your senior. What's the one? And I'll see how well is your work. Okay. I want to also recognize the presence of Doctor. The one not forgetting us. From Student Medical Hospital, Amako. And also a dangerous boy, Lost Years, my brother. Lost Years. Yeah, show the lights. I'm on that dangerous now, I'm going to get a neighbor. Lost Years. Lost Years. One of the dangerous, the Washington. I'm asking how you okay. I will not say, does Monkey go to school? The one that we're by campus when you answer. We monkey go to school. Today we are monkeys, but we are doing worse. I think it's in the guy after 2 months pregnant. I am aware. Alcohol, of course, your blood for to me. Okay. Nando, Geology, okay, please. Everybody forgive me. Oh, we have to see before begging to do respect. Other mama put the buffet. Do whatever nature. Can't charge him to court. I'm on ever want to recognize the presence of Barrister Justina C. Iloharu, member customary court, and also the wife of Mr. Iloharu, our guest speaker. Is she here? Oh. You know, what they are talking about the okay. Before I move on, you have to forgive me. And as money was another. I don't come now, and at least when I see all these people, at least Mama went to school, Daddy now Dr. Chendo. Apa chemistry, but Jesus. It's another class. This is one of the lecturers on why I got class. I didn't hear before. Imagine. Other class will get your book. Only will not copy. Not like about this. In our church, don't worry. Just common introduction. You don't know what now. You see, everything they see, they bring back to the national community. Okay. Next on the line now, we go. I have one watch. I can't now ever go back to our watch. We will Chairman, before 9 and a bit, thank you, sir.
ndị Geology Department were ọchị. Ndị nnukwu ọchị ka fabrika. When I say head of Department of Geology, I na-ekele gị. Mana asị na adịla ha n'okwu ọchị, ma anụ na oyibo a na ọjị ụkwa ọda n'oyibo. Ọjị ha butere rika. Wee na-asị na HOD ihe bịa ka iwepụ ofu. Ya were ofu ọka abụ aka na-ere ka. Were ofu ọjị ka enye Professor Bono. All due to Waka University Government Council. So, Vice Chancellor of Project. The next one, the Bama. Guru Project. Kenya Sandolin as a Precambrian geologist. Then we're talking about airport here. Because I need to have a keep it open. Guru Project. Airport chairman, Alumni. Whatever. Okay. Guru Project in one other. First, in my work watch, I'm not condoning on. Look what you came here for such a now I give you this. And I can leave it. People who go down alumni are developing fortune. Who go down alumni are developing fortune. Absolutely. One of them to Kenya as well. One night, so people, yes. Well, then I mean, I got more than the case. People
India one year ago. I enjoy Geology. Ultimately, yes, I agree. Actually, Cameroon was named when I messaged them, Cameroon was named. Achọrọ ka ndị ojii n'abalị ọka wee na-asị ana ọka ekwe na ọjị ana ọka ekwe na ọjị ana ọka ekwe na ọjị. Ndị si m gụọ ọjị n'ala ndị ọka bụ ndị na-agụ maka ibu iwe n'ime ala, ma mmana, ma Coou, iwe dị iche iche a na-akpọ ndị Geology. Asị m gụọ ọjị n'ala ndị ọka. Wee na-asị na ndị chere echiche wee kpọkọ ya bụ izu anyị nọrọ na mgbede ọya gaziliwe na Eke, gọzie n'Oyi, gọzie na Nkwọ, gọzikwuo na wee na-asị ụmụ akwụkwọ, unu na-agụ akwụkwọ, unu na-agụ uche, maka ịgụ akwụkwọ na iche, ịgụ uche dịkwa na iche. Nye anyị na-agụ akwụkwọ, ị na-agụ uche. Onye ọbụla ji ịgụ akwụkwọ ya gbado anya n'ihe ọ na-agụ, ọ ya agụ echi ọbara isi ọbara agụba. Wee na-asị pioneer HOD Bosa Nnọlị, ị ya adụ maka ọgwụ mere aka n'ike arọjiwefuwa, maka ọ bụrụ na ịgbazighị isi ụgwọ anyị gara ebe na nzukọ na mgbede. Wee na-asị Sa Nnọlị, ị ga-adụ ka gịnị echi adịghị agwụ agwụ, ndụ oge adụkwanụ, ndụ obere ga-adụkwanụ. Mgbe na-asị ebe iji oge wee chọọ ndị Geology mma, Chineke jee chọọ ndị beghị mma, chọọ obodo mma, chọọ ebe na-achọ mma. Ihe ọ bụla ị chọrọ ebe dịkwa mma ọrụ, ị ga-enwetie n'agha Jizọs. Wee na-asịzi HOD nọ na Geology ọdụwa, ndụ oge ada, onye na-achọ oge ada, onye na-achọ oge ada. Wee na-asị chairman nzukọ anyị nọ na mgbede, ị ga-adụ, ndị isi oche unu ga-adụ, University Orator ọzọ bụ ndụ na ndụ na ndụbeghị. Ka m gọrọ ndụ mmadụ niile, ka m gọọ nke m na ndụbeghị, aga m adụkwa, ndụbeghị ga-adụkwa, mma na-eto na-aga n'ihu. Mgbe na Chineke nna bịa ka ọ dị n'otu ka anyị tanibe na Kraịst onye nwe anyị.
Okwu anyị ọnụ daalụ n'aka ka ọ fọsọrọzie na ibe ya n'ala. Ka ga ama ụmụ ka ị ahụ ya ka onye ọbụla biko ọ fọsọrọ na ibe ya n'ala.
I want to invite the chairman of the planning committee in the person of Dr. Emmanuel Adewetel. Please come and welcome people. Thank you.
Wow! All protocol fully observed. My name is Dr. Adewetel Emmanuel. I graduated from the Department of Geology, CEO, then we call it Anambra State University. I'm here to welcome you all with great enthusiasm and excitement. Occasion of first Alumni Annual General Meeting, so dinner of graduates of Department of Geology, Chukwuemeka of University. Almost 2 decades when the Department of Geology was created, as one of the pioneer students who witnessed the struggling face of a young department, many of us were utterly unaware of the intellectual nourishment and penetrating enlightenment the department is still in us, until we graduated and began to interact with our contemporaries in the world. As we gather here today, it gives me immense pleasure to announce to you all that the department has produced many graduates that are widely spread throughout the globe, excelling for growth, learning and knowledge. The outstanding performances of our graduates are not only making difference everywhere, but some have gone as far of creating indelible marks in the recesses of public consciousness through their various endeavors. The benchmark of fame and awareness our graduates have about themselves today is a proof of the quality of the administration and the teaching staff of the geology of the department who inculcated in us the moral and academic values. Specifically, however, it is imperative to know that an institution's success rests not only on its administration and teaching staff, but also on the achievement and development of our products. It is on this understanding that we, the alumni members of the Department of Geology, Ojukwu University, assembled here today to reflect on the changes and developments that have occurred in the department then and now. But we are not limited to that. Our commitment is something deeper and more pervasive, which requires a lot of introspection. Our reunion today is to ensure our collective success. Apart from this, a day like today is very important to us, as it also provides us the opportunity to meet with many of our alumni members who have established themselves already outside the world. This idea does not only create a perfect roster for us to assemble with the department, our former lecturers, other staff members after graduation, The idea does not only create a perfect restroom for us to assemble and interact with our colleagues, but also give a rare opportunity, a very rare opportunity to revive a special bonding with the department, our former lecturers, and other staff members after graduation. If this covalent bonding is genuinely maintained, it will aid the department to grow not only in the physical facility, but in the quality of the graduation produces. This will create in us the generation to come the quality of respect, empathy, tolerance, honesty, and above all enviable service to humanity. Lastly, I would like to praise the multiple role played by the head of the Department of Geology, Dr. K.K. Wozo, whom I fondly call Dr. Sweat, and the annual general meetings from dinner planning committee for this great reunion. My special greeting also goes to you all who, out of your unending magnanimity and love for your alma mater, support this reunion with your resources. Your action truly justify the assertion of Iron Ego that precisely explains the importance of reunion. He said, and I quote, that every party is a form of death, as every reunion is a type of heaven. Hope you will like this arrangement for this great reunion. I wish you all a wonderful evening and memorable night. Enjoy your meal. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my dad is in the house. I get to know. Yeah, I go by the name I already said, aka Snooki, aka Mwanamba. Mwanamba is a better. Huh? Mwanamba not here. And I'm Quinn. I've seen this thing before. Yeah, I'm very honored, I'm very privileged to be here today. I'm very happy. When Joe called me and told me he would like me to be here today to perform before my people, you know, I was very happy, you know, and thank God for the same. Thank God it's a success today. Everyone that education is going well, like we planned, you know. I won't just go performing like that. It's really good at it. Let me recognize my daddy in the house. Professor, I don't know that Professor is it my daddy, my HUD and my project supervisor. God bless you, Daddy. You know, this man intimidated us Daddy with his overwhelming strength, you know. As old as he was, as he is, sorry. We young boys, we are bloody hot, we complain. And he saw that man with the clap mountain. And God bless you. And I want to put my daddy together. that God will continue to strengthen him and he will live long for us in Jesus' name. He goes to me below, I'll come here one kind of surprise. I'll be your dash and one home magic. You know how they do that? And also, this occasion wouldn't be successful without our representation dinner and Dr. Keke was the man get ginger a little bit small. I rep him so much, you know. Those days, you know, we didn't get here, you know, I didn't he wasn't a lecturer, I was just in your military. Because no one can kick anything, you know. I hope this course, geophysics, the difficulty don't reduce. I remember taking it in, as we stylish like that, you know. But it's so I greet everybody, man. I greet everybody. But that wasn't much of a time. I just got to go down to do my business. I'm an entertainer, so I'm here to contribute my own culture. When I studied geology, I was studying geomusic, you know. As all of us know, those days we were like, after school we'll come work for oil, refinery company, all this kind of thing. After school, we see the oil company work. And so I just got to fall to the other side now. They do my music, and they do my business. Things go soft, they go. That was some time. Sorry, this song I'm going to do is a song I did for Anambra State, because the love I have for my state, you know. I just decided to rep Anambra State with this introductory single. Not only because of that, because sometimes when I go out, people tell me, okay, are you a Nigerian? It's not your white. So I just have to save myself for they kidnap me, you know. Let them know from Anambra. So that's why I do this song. I'm from Anambra. And still because I'm here, they laugh. This also need to go to the next level. I'm not going to let them encourage us, but let me shout. All right, play that song. Thank you.
Welcome to Anambra. I'm from Anambra. I'm from Anambra. One day I'm from Anambra. Yes. As we go there, but I'm a last Anambra. One day my brother be I know Anambra. Oh yes, we go to Bali. Cause we are not studying. We've got to pay my money. God, see we know they ever come in us from Anambra. Yes, I'm a soul of the soul. One for I'm Anambra. Oh, to me, so proud. Cause we know they ever come in us from Anambra. One day my brother be I know Anambra. I got to go down the way. I've got to see the place. Oh, what I lash out with the guy. See, we know they ever come in us. See, every day I never see for the cash. Some praise God, hope I'm blessed by your soul. God has my prayers and now I go hammer. But it's not like when them call, I'm all going to go. Bling, blings on my neck, diamonds on my head. Now I ain't so, I ain't over my head. All my enemies and they go see front of my head. And if you're everything, I'm from the land of the nation. Anywhere I go, you must go through my radiation. Man, I'm so hot, like the star in the sky, and I shine so bright. I know we ever carry that from Anambra. I'm from Anambra. I'm from Anambra. Oh, somebody gets over. Right side Anambra. Over the people, I know Anambra. I have to go down the place. I have to see the place. Over the Anambra. So we know we ever carry that. Oh, I can't look at the picture of Anambra. I said you don't need Nigeria and Japan. From there to Onitsha in commercial city, the biggest market in West Africa. Yes, talk of tourism, let's go down to the day. Or you prefer the nice open with your kids? Really, you're really something so beautiful. We're so blessed to even know you down, guys. Oh, you're past me the lager. I make you pass me the lager. Go pass me the lager. Come to me, Tennessee. I know I'm done. Blink rings on my neck, diamonds on my head. Now I am so, I am overhead. All my enemies and they don't see my overhead. I'm from Anambra. Anambra. One day I'm from Anambra. Oh, somebody makes so proud. We know they ever come and I see my Anambra. Whenever I go to be with my Anambra. I have to go down the way. Now I got to see the place. Oh, go down and let's not be a sticky way from Anambra. Or the neighborhood from Anambra. Oh, see, I was like that from Anambra. peaceful, now no carry last, hey. Cause shawty is straight to see man too. If I go back, capital, I get a gas, hey. You know, say I can't road to that baby. And then go for, we don't need carry last, hey. Sweet home, quality bedrooms. Hungry to talk about my brother, hey. I don't think you're I try my best, whatever carry last, hey. Flavor of this square. All this bad niggas from the light of the nation. That's why they just the light of the areas. Out of the where I carry last. You can't be on there, wash out. Peter will be on here now from Anambra. Really hope you're not my governor. Respect you know where I hey! My baby not the finest. Alright. Let's go. Baby girl, I never seen this kind of love. I never lie or a gift from above. That's the way I speak past this to love. Just to love the girl, never have enough. Once upon a time, there lived a young boy. An angel yet to him to ask for wish from. Sharing for tough gold, a box of diamond. But in talks to no love, I mean that's what he wished for. If not to love enough, we found a party. Our haters, they carry last to you. Get the hate watching up like that. No matter how we quarrel, we still accept you. Yeah, come on, listen, I love you, my only money. Let's go. I love you, my sugar baby. Anything you want, I'm a double it. If I'm on a mission, I'm a double it. If you want Ferrari, I'll buy you too. I started happy, you're happy too. Yeah, you give me job. So get the girl and let's go. You're a one of a kind. Not only you, if you die for. Girl, I know she's diamond. Cause you are what's for a diamond. So girl, I want to do the right thing. So I will make you my queen.
Him and Snoop, white one of us who got Geology, but discover Valentine. Him and that time I was joy, on our people, I think I get this guy in there, me. But when I flew to go here, then when I ever did where you put it. After 4 years of KK, I'm going to go see where them, Leo, Odumodu, Kapo Hanchafa. That you are nice to me that time, don't mind them. You are the uncle of that thing at that time. KK 1F. That was the enough. Blue, almost second semester. That's 9. What? 9, or some Geology. I'm not watching boy Coou. But I hear too. Sickening. She gave the mass match across the gap. Jump them. We go one back pass. Why that man on the I thought from a stubborn boy to a good boy. Prof, Nika Mr. Mom careful. Oh, I can't get it. Your face will say you before you say yourself. Remember that geology, so see who me alone. Rocket. This one must be a core from another school. What's the other man? One. I consider preaching clean. I'm on a daughter. Am I having class? I'm not getting a school, not for much. I was there for like day now, just to form good boy. I don't know how to smile even. Why can't you get your people more get attention? I want to money member to yes, no. Hey, you Joe, why can't you go to my class? Get because of my face. Therefore, I publicly deny this is not my real one. That man I go free of charge. Happens school fees. Go handouts. My bro. Prof. Smile again, boo. When I grew up, I was smiling like you. Gentle. Calm. Man, I'm at the face. If one like a gentleman, that's my calm. The only one now. For example, if you look at an answer now for this guy, like I come with a two boy, and smile. I'm an answer now. Nancy really run for the house. All one day, this is for this girl to be out, trying to give her a call or two. The Jenya Hall or two. Those cakes in my public. No man, name man alcohol. It's on your mouth, you take a look. A is for apple, B is for. Oh, Jehovah. Not all my body. Now, can you take her? Can you? Fight and see. Nonsense. Because no man can remember the first of the Anya, Head of Department Geology. Are you here? Anya? It's somewhere around. Okay, please don't know. So the head of Geology Department, please, we want you to come and talk to the house. Thank you. We can come here to get the water and money. I'll show you. Welcome, sir. I'm actually watching my even the people are in the class. Over to that old face.
Thank you very much, Joe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will stand on existing protocols. Once more, I say welcome to all of you. There is no need overstretching the evening. I guess you're having a wonderful time. Please, much of my speech tonight is already on page 10 of the brochure. And I want to believe that all of us are literate and lettered. So if you can follow me to page 10, then we can make it snappy. I wouldn't want to stress on what is already written, but rather let me go into what could be written in that brochure. The key thing there is that we are meeting for the first time this way, and next time we are going to meet, that will be our second edition. And further to this, that all the staff of Geology departments actually are involved in this. I am just an errand boy. And that will give mighty thanks to the alumni of geology. Ordinarily, this should sound like Uli, geology alumni, just like what brought me into this. The concept Like I said in the brochure, actually occurred to me many years ago, but without all of you here, it wouldn't have amounted to anything. However, what we want to stress tonight is the involvement of alumni in university development. Ours is a work in progress. So, the reward for good work is more work. As we are meeting tonight, exchanging pleasantries are looking into our handsome and beautiful faces. Please, let us remember that posterity is hanging on us to do the needful. We belong to many universities before coming to this place. Because our university is work in progress, I will tell you one secret tonight. Every university starts with staff recruited from other universities or trained by other universities. So, this university belongs to that category. But in the history of every university, the students start to become lecturers. This is the stage we have evolved right now. Also, in the history of many universities, vice chancellors will come from other universities into that university. Our own is still in that phase. Tonight, I want to challenge the alumni that as this university continues to grow, a time will come when lecturers in the university will migrate or upgrade to becoming the vice chancellor of the university. And a time will also come when the alumni of the university will also grow to become the vice chancellors. This is the time for you to position yourselves for the great future ahead. What we are here doing today is to conscientize you, empower you, and to show you the pathway that many did not show us in years past. So what I'm charging you today is for you to understand that the future of this university is squarely in your hands. How fast you want it to grow is the way it will grow. So, my dear colleagues, my former students, my friends, my well-wishers, open your hands and receive what posterity and what history is putting in it. You have to stand strongly. You have to show yourself approved. You have to show yourself as being significant in the equation and scheme of things. This is not a night for great speeches, but a night for soul searching. We go into the past, we come into the present, because we know that the present is the key to the past, and vice versa. Tonight we are honoring one of our own, Sir Nolim, for the great duty he did to many of us. As you may recall, that this was the man that welcomed me into the department as a lecturer way back in 2005. I reported to him and he signed and took me on board. And tonight, I stand here in full humility to say, sir, I'm still loyal, I'm still your loyal boy. Anywhere you are heading to, we are always with you. Our prayers will always be with you. And I spent time with him in recent past, and so much influenced by the terrific flow of ideas from his rugged brain. He is a moving encyclopedia when it comes to the geology of Nigeria. Sir Nolim is a think tank. I salute him. Together we have nurtured some serious research projects that hopefully will take off in due course. Tonight as well, we want to position the alumni of geology to look at the society, become economists in the real sense of it. Yes, it is good to have high quality CV, well embellished, well nurtured, but I want you to be the CV that the rest of the world will read. We are talking of entrepreneurial geoscience. I'm glad that so many of us have certificates in geology, but seriously involved in other businesses and doing excellently well. The man of geomusic, I salute you. The woman of geoaccounting, I salute you. Those of geocomputing, geo-auditing, geobanking, geoinsurance, geofishery, geoaquaculture, geofarming, geoirrigation. The truth is this, it is all about rocks. Even the God we worship is the rock of ages. We have a geo-reference also in our midst. My brothers and my sisters, my friends and my colleagues, my professors, it is my prayer to grow and be like you. Dean of Deans, and my own blood brother. To all those that supported tonight's event, please, as we move to the next level, I want us to key in into the sound of the abundance of rain. Entrepreneurial geoscience. It is no longer about your certificates, no longer about what you think you know. It's about what you can do. If you are connected, it is perfectly okay to be connected, but it is also better and pays better for you to relate. If you are connected and you don't relate with your connections, it is as good as nothing. Tonight, as we listen to Mr. Emeka Iloyamo, you will understand what it means to be connected, what it means to relate as well, and what it means to service relationships, service connections, and service loyalty. I've made it clear in figures that the task ahead of us is quite enormous. This may not be the best of times for the departments in COOU, but my confidence is this: I have a Vice Chancellor who understands what it means to move mountains, who understands what it means to level valleys, who understands what it means to speak to the Red Sea and it will pass. We are here as a team to repeat what Sir Gestin Nolim did many years ago. Under him, we received our full accreditation from NUC. And shortly after him, it continues to be interim. And tonight, we are here to rub minds and to tap from him that magic wand he wielded some years ago that delivered food. And we are saying that in 2019, it has to be food or nothing. I don't know how it will happen, but I believe in people. We are investors in people. We have invested in you. This is the time for you to look back and invest in your alma mater. I have invested in UNIZIC, and I'm here to give you the secrets. This department can only move as high as you want it to go. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case, and I challenge you to come home, move forward, because I know that diamonds are forever. Welcome home, great diamonds. Welcome home, beautiful gemstones. Thank you, and remember blessed.
For today, Mr. Emeka Iloyamo, SSA for the program on Geology on Fishery and Aquaculture Business Development, Alumni for You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Good evening. The representative of the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Good evening, Dean. Good evening, the professors, the doctors, and the distinguished fellows here. The alumni. It's my pleasure to have this privilege and opportunity to share with us and interact with us this evening. And the topic before us, or what we need to look at today, is entrepreneurial geoscience. And from what I read here, the key to employment generation and wealth creation. I understand that the essence of this, my talk, is to impart, to inspire, to motivate, to also throw light in and share some personal experiences. So I will start with is everybody Igbo here? Are we all Igbo? Okay, so there are people that will not understand Igbo. Okay. I can't actually mean Igbo. But let me speak mostly English so that to carry everybody along. Okay, so looking at entrepreneurial geoscience, I want to lay a foundation and also make a kind of project a kind of background. I read geology, and while I was in the school, in the university, I had the privilege. I want to share this story because I think mostly when we hear stories, it helps us to connect because it's a real life situation. In my second year, I had the privilege of doing my industrial training, IT, with Elf Petroleum. It's now 2000. So it was at Lagos. And during that time, I also had the privilege of having a program drawn for me, for my training. It was a 6-month industrial training. And a 24-week program was done for me. Okay. I recognized the familiar sound of the machines rolling out papers. So spontaneously I turned to that direction. I went in there, I took the paper. Because I did, after printing, I thought to make it the writing part. So I went in there, I told them I want to print it. So the men there looked at me and said, what do you want to, where is your plate? I said, I don't have plate. I don't know what is plate. They said you have to find a lithographer and put this in a plate and bring it. We do only impression here. So I heard that and I said, okay, where do I find a lithographer? They gave me the address. The following day I went to look for the man. He told me something I should pay and I had the money. So I paid. So to summarize this, because I don't have so much time, that was how I started printing. I went to find lithographer, I got the paper, took it to them, they charged me and they rolled out a writing pad with the university logo as watermark at the background. So I was feeling very satisfied that this was not why I went for my industrial training. But look at it, I'm already starting well. I'm talking from my position now. It's not that I spoke like this then. But that was the feeling that was driving me then. So I printed about 2,000 copies, and when I came back to school, I was making friends with those writing pads. And Professor Osi is my classmate, he remembers those days. So, and suddenly one day somebody came and I overheard somebody asking another person, Ego neki goli, how much did you buy? So I It occurred to me that I could sell this. So when he came to me, I told him, I gave him a price and he paid. So that was how I started selling this. So eventually when he finished, I looked for a place to draw impression at Oka here, and I continued to produce this. Now, I continued printing to the extent that I had the contract to print the IT logbook for Unizi. I did that contract till I graduated. Dr. Bekwe said he's going to give it to a student since a student can do such a thing. So now, when I went for youth service, I finished 1996. So when I went for youth service, I stopped printing. I didn't print again until the year 2010. So I went again, I served in ELF, and then after that I came back to do my master's. And when I finished my coursework, many of my colleagues were just arranging their projects and submitting. But because of the exposure I already had in the oil industry, I felt and wanted and insisted that I must do it in the oil company, in the industry. So it took me 1 year. Clinton Ezekwe was my class mate in the petroleum geology for masters, MSc here. Clinton Ezekwe is from River State, so he's an indigene. So it wasn't difficult for him to get a place in Shell. So he finished coursework and got a place in Shell and started doing his attachment, his research, MSc thesis research. So it took me 1 year to get that slot, and eventually I replaced Clinton Ezekwe. So when I started, I came with my proposal. Who fought Ebon looked at it and said, my friend, you say you're a postgraduate student. We can make any IT or copper to do this. You must do something that must add value to the oil industry. Otherwise, I'm not supervising you. Again, you can look at the tip. Why I'm saying this is, I interact with a lot of people today, and what I want to summarize out of everything I'm going to say today, from what I've started to say and what I'm going to, eventually conclude with, is that our thought process is the key to where we get to or whatever we will achieve ultimately. Our thought process and coupled with our attitude will always give us anything we set our mind to achieve. So when Uford told me he's not going to supervise me with that kind of topic, I was at the dead end because I was not thinking of anything else. But I followed him around for a while, and it occurred to me that I could ask him to give me a topic since he originated this. So I asked him, okay, you're in the industry, can you please? I'm coming from university. He thought it made sense, so he said, come. He gave me 2 topics and said, try to develop this. If you can, then. So I started that immediately. I told you I don't have computer at home. Can I use the computer? He said, no problem. Ejuwa, let him use this computer. So I sat down, I tried to make a proposal, and towards close of work, I showed him what I did. He said, so fast? That's fine. Then he said they're going to sign me on the next day. So by the next day, I came on, the normal time, work resumed. And then I finished it that day. He took it, printed it, went to get approval for me. Now, he asked me to stay behind when he went to see the R&D coordinator. I'm losing some people, I don't know. I'm feeling that there are people that are not with us, and they are not even understanding. Okay. Are we together? Thank you. So now, he went to get approval for me with the R&D coordinator of Shell. He asked me to stay behind. He went in, came out about 3 minutes and told me, Emeka, congratulations. Your project, your proposal has been approved. And that you're going to be taking lunch in Shell. You're going to be giving money for transport. Clinton Ezekwe that I replaced was not getting lunch. He was not getting money. Now, Uford worked together with me because obviously it's his project, it's his topic. And there was a lot of challenge. Tim Peterson was the head of the team. He said it's not possible to use. The topic was Niger Delta genetic indicators, automatic genetic indicators. And I used neural network to do interpretation of the positional environment. So I use the core data to do all the calibration and make them fine. So eventually, at the beginning, the head of the team, Tim Peterson, a seismologist, he said, it's not possible. You cannot use computer neural network to interpret the positional environment. It has never happened. That he has worked with neural network for years. He has experience. We fought to tell him, Emeka will do it. So every day they will keep arguing, and then he said, you guys are wasting company resources here. Why is this guy wasting our time? So, but summarily, at the end, I was successful. At the end of 1 year. And Ufo told me that I must call all the heads in the company. The head of HR, the head of R&D, the Promise Egele was the DPE manager, the petroleum engineering manager then. All the heads, Joe Ejedawa and all that. So everybody came. And I made my presentation to the management, to these people. When I finished the presentation, the same Tim Peterson asked me, Emeka, bring your backup slides. When I brought it, he put it on the oval table and started the presentation afresh. He said Emeka has not shown what he has done. I've been with Emeka for the last 1 year. This is something that has never happened. So he took over. At the end, they say that they are not letting me go. That myself and Ufo to continue with this. Now, they told the head of HR that they are offering me employment, that he should do the necessary things. And the way it should be done then was that they will still get me back to the same people and they will interview me and then formalize the things. So after that, I came out. Somebody from somebody came and said, I heard about your presentation. Do you want to go to Spain? Madrid. I didn't understand why I should go to Madrid, but I just said yes, in a weak voice. He said, let me get the competition for you. Did you see the presentation in the internet? So I told him, okay. He came back with the competition in the internet. It's a global competition for the SIS forum. It's called Universities Presentation Competition, and it was just abstract that was required. So I took it to Ford, and Ford said, this is abstract, you are not exposing any data, so you are free to apply. And I did that. In 10 days, I got a mail from London that I won the competition, and they are sponsoring me to Madrid. And they told me to see somebody. So eventually, I processed my papers, and I went to Madrid. I didn't know whom I was going to meet there, but there I saw all the oil majors from all over the world. Schlumberger got everybody together. It's the days of producing the limit, looking for, the theme of that conference was identifying the next generation of interpretation tools. And I was the only one from university, So after that conference, that was where my personality changed. It was the first time I left Nigeria. I traveled out of Nigeria, and then I saw the people that I was together with, Vice President Statoil, VP Chevron USA, see exploration manager Shell BP, all these kind of people, all these things we read in newspaper and see in TV and all that. So eventually, a lot of them asked me what I want to do, whether I want to do PhD or I want to work. I said I want to work, I want PhD because I needed the job then. Now, I came back and Shell still retained me, but Schlumberger came and took me quickly. Sholon Ilola met me in the corridor and told me, you're still here, why not working for us? He gave me his card. I took to Tufo told me, I know you want to develop this to the next level. If you remain here in Shell, there is going to be new project. Shell does not hire easily and fast. So when they look for resource, they don't see you resource, they will pull you out of the research team and you start chasing the barrel. That's the way you talk about it, chase the barrel, trying to make, produce a lot of oil. So he said that he knows me that I'm going to be sad, that he knows that I want to do the next thing. So that Schlumberger is my best bet. I should tell them I want to get to research center. So I went for the interview and I told them the way before to, I want to get research center, and they said no problem. But we didn't write it. So I eventually moved from Shell to Schlumberger. And I sat in Schlumberger, I started working. The first, there is what we call, for those familiar, what we call bulletin boards, network of core professional areas. The first question that came was the question on this rock cell. Rock cell is run with neural network, and it was done for petrophysics. It was developed for petrophysics, not geology. So, but I put it to geological use. And the reason was that in my youth service in ELF, I worked for Stratcom. So I reviewed the lithostratigraphy of Niger Delta. So it gave me a good knowledge of the lithostratigraphy of Niger Delta basin. So when I was doing rock cell, the difference was just simple, just to put boundaries of formations and then run the automatic recognition. That was just the game changing, that's all. So, and then that's how rock cell can be used for geology. So I gave that result, and then there was pandemonium everywhere. Everybody got excited, and it was something that generated a lot of interest. Then I came to a point where somebody or my colleagues started telling me that my bosses are going to begin to be afraid of me, that I shouldn't be showing those things. I became restless. I didn't understand that. I didn't like it actually. I rejected it. Many of us who know Ike Mbwema, our senior, he told me, I be careful, but I did not have exposure in the oil service sector. I did mostly oil producing, total shell. So that was my first time in Schlumberger oil service. So, and there is championship, your one-man show. In producing, you work as a team. So the team thing was within me, and I came to a situation where, if you don't watch your back, somebody takes care of it. So I didn't understand it, but I got restless. So I began to see some things. I went for orientation in Paris, and we were 40 in class, and only myself did not have a laptop. In Schlumberger, you join, you get a laptop, but I was given a desktop so that I don't move too much. I later found out. In France, the training development manager told me, you're supposed to have laptop, just send mail to your manager. I sent mail to manager, he came back and told me, yes, your manager has replied. He said, were you the guy in Madrid? I said, yes. He said, oh, you want to take over Schlumberger? I said, what do you mean? He said, no, never mind. And then he passed over. And I never got that laptop, and I spent 2 weeks in Paris and in Pau, and came back to Nigeria. All the QHSC online tests we did, I had to borrow laptop as a Nigerian person, And I was thinking maybe I was set up to fail or something, but I didn't fail, But these are experiences that began to make me to take a certain course, make me to activate certain kinds of thoughts. So when I came back, I began to look at things differently. And incidentally, as I came back, I was given a letter to sign. And I saw a clause that the intellectual property belongs to Schlumberger, and I'm a staff. So, but I had already done this, because in Shell, everybody saw this as as an invention, what I did, and it was not anywhere. It was never done before. So but I brought that into Schlumberger. So and then I'm asked to sign this. I delayed in signing, and after 2 months I was told that management has asked me to either sign or go. So all the people I consulted say don't sign off your birthright too, but none of them gave me another job. Everybody, family, friends, everybody say, don't sign no, don't sign no. Yeah, I stopped sharing some things, and I started preparing to leave. I personally decided I'll stay 5 years with Schlumberger, so that I'll get some basic things and get some financial, independence, and then be able to go. I didn't want to go to look for a job again. So, and that was actually what happened. So I began to invest. Initially it was water, because Schlumberger sent me to Saudi Arabia. I worked in Saudi Arabia, and I saw we were buying 1 liter of water at $1, and we are buying petrol at 70 cents. And the water is actually not sweet, it's tasteless. It's seawater that is so processed. I know that we have good water here, So I thought to be shipping water to the Middle East, because all through Dubai and all that axis, Bahrain and all that, is the same situation. So I did a borehole at that as my place, and then I wanted to, package water to send. But the involvement was quite high. It was $500 million, and I didn't have time to run it myself. So if I borrow such money, somebody else will be in charge, and if it goes wrong, it will hang on me for a long time. So I thought it was not a good, strategically I didn't think it was fine. So that's how I started investing in fisheries and aquaculture. So the whole idea was to have a business that I would not be under pressure in terms of money or finances. Then I got married immediately, and I even told my wife before I got married, I told her I'm not going to stay like my colleagues. So I've spent 2 years, it remains 3 years. After this, I'm going to move, so nobody relaxes. So we get into this. We talked about it, and then she agreed and understood, and we carried on. So this also happened. At the end, part of why I'm telling this story in this order is, when we were in school, some of the things that we look forward to is that when I graduate, I work in the oil company, I'll be paid big money, like you used to say, they pay you like arm robber, but some of the things that came to my mind was, in the data processing, I was in DCS in Slumberger when I joined newly, and my team, we were 2, and in the first year we made $5.2 million in our team, and the salary of both of us was not up to 10 million naira for that year. We made in dollars, but in naira our salary, both of us, was not up to 10 million. So I began to consider these things. I look at it, okay, we are staff, all right, and we are making this money, and for how long, and the company is going, So it wasn't clear to me, but I started thinking in that line, But now I look back, I see that the right thing to do, or the right way to think is, if you get a job, an employee is an employee. And no kind of employment will ever give you enough money, even if you are paid 20 million naira per month. My first boss, John Ade, he was my first boss in ELF in November 1993. He rose to executive director in Total, and he retired. His salary is approximately 10 million naira per month, and that's what he's still receiving now. Now, because at that level you go with, your pension is still the same. So now, but he spent all his years there. These are some of the things, you look at. But myself, I began to look at, if these companies are making money and they employ people to help them to achieve their business objectives, they are in business. You are a professional. Now, what about after the work? What about it after the work? So it's something that the Igbo people used to talk about, the okwa, okwa told the children, when you take some yam, you take the root as well. Because one day, the owner of the yam will harvest the yam, and then you need to know how to live, And some striking things that happened in Shell, why was the Shell in 2001, was that the Shell people began to see statistics of people that retired. Their bosses, they were looking at them. They retired, they are giving 50 million naira settle, gratuity, and then not up to 4 years they come back to do contract for the same Shell where they were boss and they had everything, and thank you. And it made them to start thinking, and the cooperative then thought about something. They created a program they called SUFU, Save Our Future. So they noticed that when these big ogas retire, it doesn't take time, they come to look for a job again, and suddenly you see their obituary and they go to bury them. So they began to, the way we do interpretation, using data using the present to determine the past. They began to look at it and saw that it's important for anybody working to be able to prepare for later years. Not to depend on the bulk money that you'll be given, but to also learn how to live outside that already set and very established situation or environment. You know, so also I picked that. Some of these things I picked unconsciously, you know, because I'm somewhat, I would say, privileged to be around when these things are happening. Again, like I mentioned, open mind is very key, attitude is very key. Many people will be around where these things are happening, they don't understand, they don't pick it. So, but I was hearing, I was listening, I was observing also, and then, you know, I was able to pick all these things they put together. So today, okay, thank you. So today, all those things that have, you know, I have come in contact along my development and career path has all been, I try to harness them and try to make sense out of them. There are many that, you know, I look back now, I understand better. Now, presently, I mentioned how I started investing in fisheries and aquaculture. When I left Geology in 2007, I started immediately to sell my processed fish, to dry fish. And then one of our big guys, saw me one day and said, "Make I hear you have resigned and you are living at this young age with your experience. We need you in the oil industry." I told him I'm still consulting, but is this fish I'm doing now? So he said, okay, there is something he wants me to consider, that Hugo Chavez is looking for Nigerians and Africans. He has problem with Americans, so he's looking for people to mentor their young professionals or young people in Venezuela. He called me the following morning and asked me to come for a meeting in his office. I went, and then we discussed about it. I told him, okay. He told me it's not a family location, and it was going to be $6,000 per month. And I told him no. I said, my family, if I'm not going with my family, I'm not moving. I will continue with my fish. And then I would not want 6,000. I told him $15,000. But eventually we came to 8,000, and then they waived family for me. They agreed to take my family with me. So that was how I went to Venezuela to do another 1 year contract with them to mentor the young people. So now that all contributed to my developing because we looked at it as, I told my wife it's a strategic move to bring her currency to put into our business, you know. So we looked at it as things that helped to build our business. When I came back, I started going to next levels with our fish. I went to business school, and then I realized something. The trainings I've had in the oil industry were trainings that were job specific. Those trainings, even management trainings, were done for me to be able to do my job well. Now, it is different from an entrepreneur being trained as a business owner. Okay. So now it's different from an entrepreneur being trained as a business owner, because if you train as a business owner, you're setting your own business, you will be the one responsible for your funding, for your staff management, for several things, for your location of your business and all that. But if you're a staff, it is the job description that you have that you will be developed, on. And these are things that are not always obvious. They sound the same, they look the same, but it's only when you're sitting or wearing the shoe that you understand the difference. So when I went to business school, we were given assignments, and I started doing my assignments, and suddenly I decided to use the fish business to do my project. And when I started doing it, I began to discover a lot of things. Now, what I was taught, I had paid consultants to teach me, or teach us, because my wife has been involved in that, to teach us the fish thing. So we are taught growing out fish, producing fingerlings, doing feed and all that. Now, we were taught as a single business. But in the business school, I discovered that these are distinct businesses because they have different turnaround times. They have different, protocols, different procedures. So, but again, what made me to realize this, because it's a realization, basically. It was a realization. What made me to realize this was because of my background in the oil and gas. So I had worked in a structured environment, multinational company, and I see how we do things professionally, and then I saw that this one is not organized. So people are teaching, you pay them money, they teach you to make your own fingerlings, make your own table fish, make your own feed, dry your fish. At the end, you're running round and round. And I was looking at it, I was trying to measure up the kind of salary I was getting from my company from this fish. And it was not matching. These were all the things that led me to resolve it. Because if I left oil and gas, this has to be better. If it's not better, then why should I leave? I should go back. But after the business school, I realized that there is huge potential. There is a lot of things that people, because they don't know, and some others because they do not have the exposure to have done heavy, huge, projects. They always are afraid that if it gets to big money, it's too big, it's too much. So I saw that, and as an entrepreneur, usually when you find challenges or problems, if you have the solution, you package it and make money from it. So I had to key into that, and then began to solve this and bring the madness and bring it to orderliness. So I had to distinguish our operations, and then change the way we were doing things. And then I was very comfortable, and I was very breathing fresh air, and I was seeing that it's the right thing to do, and I was seeing that already we can make a lot of millions and billions from fish, but people don't know, and they can't see. They are in vicious cycle, and they trap themselves, and they are rolling around it. So I had to begin to do that since nobody was doing it. So today, by God's grace, I've been able to. I know most of us that read geology knows Geoffrey, right? I know Petra. You know Petra, Geoffrey. Now, I've been able to create a software, a suite of software, an operating system. That's what we're headed for. We're going to make an operating system, but we have modules already, just like Geoffrey, for fisheries and aquaculture business. So, and it's already running. So we even have the apps that are running Android. And because of my experience also with schlumberger, with respect to intellectual property, I had to work and get the patents registered before exposing it to the to use for other people to use. So I got 3 patents for business systems in fisheries and aquaculture today already. So and more are coming. So and we've assembled some team to work on that. What this journey, all this experience I'm sharing, they are quite interesting, and what I would like us to pick from that is, like I said earlier, thought process, mindset, attitude. There is nothing we cannot do here. It's only for us to settle down and look at things, in an objective way, and then create targets and objectives and follow them, and then we'll be able to get that. So now we have a mold, a structure of the fisheries and aquaculture industry. I've already done everything, and it's already fully done and being executed now. And part of the outcome is that today, in 2014, His Excellency Governor William Viano, he saw one of my presentations in Fish, and the way I presented it, and took my number and called me. And as we were discussing, he asked me to join his team. So eventually, he co-opted me into his administration, and I came in to do the way we normally do from private sector, and I saw the political setting. That was my first experience, doing public. In politics and public service. So it was quite challenging. I was to leave in the 2nd month. I sent mail and packed my things and left. But he sent me back mail 2 days after and told me to go to Chief of Staff that we should resolve whatever the matter was. So, and that was how I came back. Now, when I came back again, my thinking started changing again. See, okay, if he called me, that means he thinks that there's something important that I should do. So I began to change my mind towards not taking all the challenges I was facing too much to heart. I look at it as I'm from Anambra State, and if the governor called me, I was never in any political party. He never knew me. He picked my number and called me. If he called me, well, I should check it well, and it shouldn't just be about myself. That means I have something to contribute, maybe by providence. So I began to look at it as giving back to the society. So whatever I was doing, I had to remove my corporate appearance and then begin to fly the champagne like a street person. So I just dismantled myself and then got into this society. Now, as of today, His Excellency has created an agency that is called Fisheries and Aquaculture Business Development Agency because of what I have done in the last 4 years. For me, it's an interesting thing to do. I would like to see that we take charge of our natural resources, not to have outsiders, foreigners, to come and take charge of the main thing and then employ us. And then we'll keep looking for employment and taking crops, Well, we shouldn't look at it as militancy, like taking crops, but we should be able to see that if we begin to think about it today and we do forward planning, we'll be able to get to where we target. I want to stop here. Thank you very much.
As distinguished guest speaker at Coou Geology AGM/dinner, congratulations to 8 December 2018. I'll hand this over to these excellent gentlemen for them to do the needful. Thank you.
It's not good to come and never walk in. Well, I think I must say something about Rebecca. He was my classmate at Department of Geology, Geological Sciences, Anambra University. I know that we entered in 1991. But because of long strike, Abacha strike, and Babangida strike, we lost 1 year. We lost 1 year, that's a bad government. We lost 1 year. There's something unique about Emeka. In those days, we called him Timatius. Etimi. Emeka is a very complex person. It's very complex. It looks simple, but extremely complex. Emeka likes to explore. In fact, Emeka is somebody who cannot determine his next step. So,
the wife is laughing.
He likes to explore. He likes to create. He's somebody that you can never, you can't read his mind. Emeka is like an institution. You keep reading, trying to know Emeka. But the more you try to know Emeka, the more you become confused. So that was why when he said that he went for a company, he left for a company, he developed something. And at the same time, he started to leave for a company. What most of us then, we aspire to go into a company. Far back 1993, Rebecca joined ELF. And immediately he entered ELF, we always look for Rebecca in the class. We see Rebecca, when there's Rebecca will come and say, Pastor, what is that? So he's a dynamic person, so I'm not surprised whenever I see him. I remember those days. Rebecca I remember that's very fast. So, Rebecca, the Department of Geology, University, we are delighted to present this this token to you as a way of appreciating your efforts in human career revolution. So thank you so much. With this team, let's present it together. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When they said that Emeka is a complex human being, I saw the wife smiling. They said it's complicated. I saw the woman laughing. When they said that you spend days trying to read Emeka's mind, the woman squeezed her face. I didn't say anything. Ladilak Institute Yaba, St. Patrick's Yaba, St. Charles Achida. There is something about this man that touched me. He actually went to read medicine, but along the line, something happened. It was truncated. He aspired to Bishop Sharahan College on law, but couldn't attend the interview because he had no sponsor. Then along the line, he found himself at Merchants of Light Secondary School, Oba. So, from Merchants of Light, he went to Ibadan to read medicine. After 1 year, the Nigeria-Biafra war truncated that grave. He went to UNA, but then UNA had no medicine, and he chose geology. By the grace of God, Sir A.C. Nolim keyed into the Rock of Ages and qualified as a geoscientist. He excelled both in Nigeria and in Canada, where he grabbed his MSc in economic geology. We found this man useful in our university. He produced the first set of master's degree holders in economic geology and geochemistry. I remember 1 year I flew him to Afibo on a field work. That was the same year I spent 2 days in my hotel room. I couldn't come out. He uselessed me. I lived, I wept, I cried, and he kept moving from one fault to one joint to one outcrop. I called him, sir, this outcrop, don't they finish? But today he's here. And one of many parts, Sir A.C. Nolim has certificates in Principles of Law and Communication, ICS in London, in 1981. Where was I then? Primary school. Certificate in Personnel Management, Alumni College, Ottawa, Canada, 1983. I was in primary 3. Certificate, Groundwater Assessment and Development, National Water Research Institute, Kaduna, 1989. Where then? JS3, my friend. This man has written many papers, both professional, both academic, both technical, and administrative. I don't think he has written any query. I don't think he wrote any petitions. He began his working career in 1963 as a lab technician with Nigerian Glass Industry Port Harcourt. In 1965, he moved over to UNA as a lab technologist. From 74 to 94, he was with Geological Survey of Nigeria as exploration geologist. From then, he moved on to his own business, environmental consulting as Coou Georesources Limited. He even consulted for Plateau State Environmental Protection Agency. So in this man, there is a businessman, there is a lecturer, there is a man of God. He is a knight of Saint Mulumba. He joined the then Mr. Ulster Chiaganam and the then Mr. Mike Ebunike as the pioneer lecturers in geology department. He became the head, the pioneer HOD. That is the legacy we are celebrating today. He was in Jos branch of GSN, Zonal Head Kano Office, MD Coou Geosciences Limited, Head of Geology ANSU from 2003 that he stepped in till 2009. Member University Senate, 2003 to 2009. This man was awarded Exemplary Academic Leadership Award by this same you, when some of you were students. That was 2009. He is a Catholic, but doesn't discriminate. He believes we are all Christians. Sir A.C. Nolim is a fourth degree of St. Mulumba, like I said earlier. Despite his huge learning and exposure, he is deeply involved in community service. Member, initiator of Bishop Reddington's Fellowship Luncheon, a program that brought a lot of top civil servants and businessmen of Plateau State into the knighthood. He is a fisher of men. A very active member and treasurer of University of Nigeria Alumni Association, JOS. That's why when we mention alumni, we bring people like him in to show us the way. Advisor to African Students Association in Canada, a member of Igbo Cultural Union, JOS. What it means that he is also a demandable. A member, Agwata and Urumba South Social Clubs, JOS. This man is a fellow of Nigerian Mining and Geosciences Society, FNMGS. Member of National Governing Council for 3 tenures in NMGS. Chairman, Enugu chapter of NMGS, comprising Anambra State, Ebonyi, and Enugu States. He pioneered the formation of JOS, Kaduna, and Kano chapters of NMGS, and a without his wife. I will tell you how he wrote it. I am happily married to a beautiful and humble wife, Lady Mary Nnolemu, and this marriage is blessed with 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Over the years, their support, prayers, goodwill, warm hugs, warm kisses kept me going. Please, anytime you write my story, make sure that you reserve a place, a special place for that matter, for Lady Mary Nnolemu and my 5 children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the man that is here in our midst, a father for everybody, a distinguished Nigerian, a son of the soil, a true geologist, a man of God, a pastor professional, and instead, please pardon us for stressing you. If you have more hands, we can support you to be an original and you can support our father. Why you do it? Please, for duty tonight, we invite, please, for tonight's duty, we invite a lady in the house, a daughter to be, a product of Sir A.C. Nolim, Mrs. Adanos. The Dean of Deans is here to join hands in saying a big thank you to Sir A.C. Nolim, Professor Moses Nkemchendo, Chairman, National Youth Council of Anambra State. Mr. Sam Egwato is here to be part of this business. Sam, please come and say hello to your own lecturer. Sam Egwato. Sam is an alumnus. There is a healthcare professional in our midst, a distinguished doctor. I know why I'm inviting him, because tonight we'll take his number. He'll become our practical health insurance scheme for Sir A.C. Nolim. Dr. Emeka Onyedum, please join us to say a big kudos to Sir A.C. On this shield, there are two logos, one for the university and one for the alumni. Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Geology Alumni, maiden edition of Annual General Meeting and Dinner, Meritorious Service Award, presented to Sir A.C. Nolim for his meritorious service as pioneer head of geology, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University. Congratulations, 28 December 2018. I'll hand this to the Dean of the
Sir A.C. Nolim, it is a privilege that I present this to you. This is made by your students in recognition of your contributions to their own development. You've sowed the seed. God has watered the seed. The seed has grown, and today it is bearing fruits. Your efforts on them is not a waste. And that is what your children are doing today. You were the pioneer head of department. Incidentally, I'm the first chemistry lecturer employed in that university. I was there when you came in, and with the support of the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajaka, I thought you would have invited him to this occasion. You took that department to a very great height. A height that is yet to be surpassed. Because, according to the head of the department, your first outing, you get, and everything about you is still needed to get that department going. If you're leaving that department, please leave your spirit with that department so that the department will continue to grow. And with what these your products have done today, the reward for hard work is more work. Even when you are not there when you are not there physically, you should be there spiritually. And of course, for them to have remembered you, it means that they have really imbibed and also appreciated what you have planted in them. Congratulations, sir. It is good you are being eulogized and recognized and also awarded in your lifetime. This is not posthumous. It is good you are witnessing it today. And some of us would like to get to that level when our products will stand before them and also get such recognitions from our own products. Thank you, sir, for what you have done. Thank you for the seed you have sowed. Thank you for what you have planted in Chukwuemeka and Geology University. And of course, I used to say that knowledge economy is the one that is most sustainable. What you have done will really bear good fruit. Behind every successful man, they say there's a woman behind that man. Thank God you have taught us that again today. Madam, I also say thank you for really being of support to me. The children are out there saying thank you for what you have done. You thought he was wasting his time there at Chukwuemeka University when he would get into the lab and he doesn't come back early. Senate meetings, he doesn't come back early. All through administrative work in the department, he doesn't come back early. The children are today appreciating him for that. This is so little, but then it is significant. You place this on your table, on your cupboard. Whenever you look at it, you remember that you really sowed some seeds somewhere. Thank you, sir. And may God continue to bless you. So I don't know in our camp, Alumni.
While the shade has been presented, there is yet a certificate. When this came up, it actually passed through PricewaterhouseCoopers, and one of us there considered it and helped us to organize the way it is to present it to Sir AC now. So I'll call the person from PricewaterhouseCoopers, if she's still in the house, to join in present certificate to Sir AC now. Please, Chikodi Chomoba, if you are still around, please join us to this place. Is Adatubu in the house? Yes. Okay, please come over. And a pioneer geologist, okay, Chuku Obi.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Please come to hand certificate to Sir AC Knowledge. Team Ejeku.
I call him Daddy because he was the one that sowed the seed, he watered the seed, he nurtured the seed. And on behalf of every one of us here, those that could not make it, especially those in diaspora, we want to appreciate it today, sir. And as long as our stories be told, anyway, your name will always be mentioned. Thank you so much, sir. Mommy will say thank you. So on behalf of every one of us, especially the pioneer students, we want to present this to you, sir. Please accept it.
Thank you very much, Coou Geology Alumni. You have made history, and my job is
and professors, students. My dear students and my dear children, alumni, I want to thank everybody. I think we are here tonight because of the ability of the activity of the head of the department. I think it took a lot of effort to get the alumni organized into this group as a particular group. I call him an organizer and a galvanizer. Because he has always told me what effort he was making to get the alumni come together. And I want to praise him for coming together and realizing that we came from one place. I want you to understand that you are very highly rated. I'm very happy that you are making so much progress in your field, your various endeavors. The training of a geologist is such that with the various problems you meet through your training, you can fit into any society, any place. It's not like other training where you sit in the classroom and get everything you want, but you have different problems in the field and very hard, classroom problems. So you can be rest assured that you are rated very highly, because I know the comments I get from my colleagues outside. So I wish you people good luck wherever you go. I very much appreciate all you have given me tonight. In fact, I think this is one of the most cherished awards because you have left the university since you may not know where we meet again, but you have decided to come back to honor me with what you have given me. So that shows you really appreciate it, not pretense. So I value it so much. I value it more than any kind of money or whatever material gift I will get from a student, by trick or by force. You have been by force, yes? When I went to the university, there were two slogans or two expressions the geology department was known for. And I want those slogans to be maintained. One is that geology first, others follow. I hope you still remember what that means. Geology first, others follow. Because geology was ahead of many other departments. And I want to assure you that we are the first state university to get this award of field mapping, vehicles, computer, and the rest of it. That's the first state university from non-oil producing state to get it. Before now, from us, other state universities like Ebonyi State University now knew that they could get it. So, and that really prepared you very much. I'm very happy that most of you made good use of those facilities, and you're extending wherever you are today. So, when the head of the department was speaking, he was asking what we can do to make sure that the department doesn't go down the drain. And I will say my answer to that is, first of all, remember that first slogan, geology first, others follow. Repeat it and think about it seriously. And then you, the alumni, should cooperate with the head of department. The head of department, whenever he comes to please, I appeal to you to come to his rescue. And the second thing, in my office, we used to see empathy is a virtue. Empathy is a virtue that reminds oppression and victimization. Practice it. So that has to do with interaction between students and staff. Because if you place yourself in the place of students and they are your children, you will treat them well. So that's what we practice. And I would like the head of the, I would like the lecturers to be united in the department and move as one force and advise each other correctly. The head of the department should know his rights and then, take advice and then move along with others. We should avoid functionality in the department. So I appreciate your coming from far and near, from various places. It's a risk you took to be here tonight, and most of you will be going to far places tonight. And I will wish you that you will have journey back. Thank you very much for all this thing you are doing.
Thank you, sir. That's a wonderful advice.
Son Olim, once again, I congratulate you. And Mommy, we really appreciate your help and contribution to the department. Our fellow alumni, our alumnus, each of you are appreciated. This event has been a very wonderful one, and we hope to see how it continues and how it can be sustained, in a long run. We appreciate those that give talks, especially Mr. Emeka Ilohan. We also appreciate the chairman of the events and all those that contributed. We are very grateful to the planning committee, those people that have been having sleepless nights, trying to make sure that, this event was a successful one. The MC is always talking funny, So, in general, we are very grateful and we are very appreciative of each and every one of you. For those that couldn't make it, we really appreciate those that contributed, those that donated, not just donated, those that spent most of their time coming around. We really appreciate. The message we have to take home is try to be good ambassadors of your department. Your image, you are the image of the department. Wherever you go, try to make sure you live up to expectation. Avoid being problems to our society. Avoid anything that will bring dent to your image. You are an image of the department. Whatever you do, comes back to us. If they say you're doing well, the praise comes back to the department. If you're not doing well, it's also on our head. So please, be good ambassadors of our department. Thank you very much all for coming, and thank you.
That's a wonderful gentleman. After that, I'm inviting Miss Stella. Please, Miss Stella, please come up to me. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Stella, I'll pronounce it different.
Okay. I'm very happy. I was speaking about this night.
Yes.
Because Jesus. So
I got confusion.
I'm so grateful and excited about tonight. The chairman, I respect you. My pioneer head, Mr. Nolim, I really respect you, sir. And my current head of geology, it's my pleasure to be here. In fact, head thank God I can see a lot of faces here today. My co-geologists, a lot of them, this will see a lot of faces today. Since 2008 till now. I know some people are single one. Some people have a single PhD, masters and co. But today I still see their nice faces. So kudos to the team that planned this occasion, this event. They did a wonderful thing. And I promise that next year we are going to do more than this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I don't know what to do, I will come out free to support this gathering next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm so happy. Once again, this gathering will continue, grow from grass to grace. In Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know who is standing beside me.
Oh, no, but I wasn't for that. Maybe no, you must have no, how about the support? Why your support?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rafa. I just graduated this year and I just joined the alumni group. I'm excited to be here. I don't know what to say, but I'm so excited to be here, to be among this family. It's a very huge and big family. I came here earlier to join and assist in what they're doing because I was so excited. And before then, I was trying to convince most of my sets to join me here today. And they didn't come, they didn't show, but I'm excited to be here. Wow. And those that organized this show, they did a lot of work. And I appreciate all your efforts. And those that are here today, not everybody couldn't make it, but you guys are here today. And you guys are staying up till this time to be here. I'm so excited. I don't know what to say.
Thank you. Put your hands together for that. I'm so excited. Nah, I wasn't know you're not confused as because you're not confused here. They're excited.
Joseph Obunadike, Secretary General. Who is that? Joseph Obunadike, where are you? Ijo. Blind Joe. Ijo, where are you? Okay, my name. Yeah, the guy. Okay. I don't know my name. Who's on the man Evangel AEC? Who changed that honors league?
I think he's in the storehouse.
Who changed that, please? Mr. Lamwike. Is here?
Yes, he.
Okay. Okay, to who you take one?
All right.
Why not you react? And he was our president. Okay, vice president. The Joe secretary. Evangel, assistant secretary general. Who changed on this weekend? Stella Weekend. Okay, please, on behalf of the faculty and the rest of us, and we formally placed seal of authority on Faculty of Physical Sciences and Faculty of Geology on your communique today to have these ones as members of your interim executive committee. So we so recognize and we so move that you concur in our presence and approve. Please, if you approve of these people, just shout aye. Aye. If you don't approve, say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Well, on behalf of my interim executive committee, I want to thank everybody here present. My name is Dr. Anuwata Emmanuel. We are happy for this great opportunity you've given to us to serve in this capacity. All we are promising you is
thank you, the MC. Let me first of all thank the planning committee that organized this gathering. This is the first annual general meeting from dinner, and my prayer is that the next year's annual general meeting will be better than this one. I think you people, you already tried. I was so impressed. I think I was able to see a lot of faces I've not seen for many years now, and I can see that all of you are doing well, and I pray that God will lead you people to your career destination. I also thank the head of department. One thing that is unique about KK is that he's a motivator, he's an organizer. So I'm not surprised that he was able to organize all of you together in order to make this gathering a success. And I pray that God will replenish those that supported this gathering financially. It's going to replenish their pockets. And as you go back to your various destination, my prayer is that you are going to meet those you left at home in good health. Thank you very much.
Thank you for bringing us here today. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather our previous students of the Geology Department in Anambra State University. We thank you for the gift of life after our graduation. You helped us, we navigated through service and through everything and through life. Most of us are married now. For the ones that are not married, we pray that you help them to find suitable spouses in Jesus' name. Amen. Father, we continue to pray for the success of the Geology Department, for the success of the students, and the success of Anambra State University. We pray that you help us guide everything. Guide the affairs of the department and the affairs of the school in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Daddy, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Daddy, kí wọ́n yà fàgé, sir.
Afa o Chief AC Nolem.
Okay, sir. Wọ́n yà bẹ́ẹ̀ kébù, sir.
Àwọn onye Enugu Ụmụọjị ya n'Oruba South Local Government.
Okay, sir. Emeka anyị nweta na n'ihe na-emeta maka gị nwa. You are the most important person eji maka ya na-ehu today. Ka ị nwere your expectation and ị nwere egwu ụmụaka gị ị ga-afụ today.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited and impressed by the effort to be here, and I'm happy that they have all become consultants since they left the institution. That goes to assure me that they got something useful from the university. Of course, they were very, very, very serious students when they were there, and I'm happy they are now in various places of responsibility. I wish them success and I wish them progress. I wish them to be galvanized much better than now and continue to come together as they have done.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, may we know you, sir?
Okay, my name is Professor Chiaganam.
Okay, sir.
I'm the current Dean, Faculty of Physical Sciences, Chukwuemeka University.
So, sir, how do you see today's occasion and what do you have to tell your children and your prayer to them?
Okay, I will say that I'm very impressed, I'm very delighted that the department was able to organize their ex-students under the umbrella of alumni to come and interact and know the way forward for the department, the alma mater, how to come in and start helping the department, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of, making sure that the ex-students, that they are well placed in the society. So I saw the event as a very big success, and I wish that the next annual general meeting will attract most of our ex-students, especially those in diaspora.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.